Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and I'm here to do the Racing to Read book tag, which is the book tag that the Reading Rush has put out this week, because obviously I needed to add another thing to this very busy week. Since this book tag is about racing, I figured it is okay that I'm wearing a tank top and I'm a little bit sweaty because I went for a walk before it got too hot outside. I also had to close the nearest window and turn off the fan to film this video, so don't expect this to get any better. Question number 1, warm up, a book that stretches your mind. For me, this would really be any nonfiction, and for the sake of just naming a nonfiction I really like, let's go with American Kingpin. This is all about somebody who created a website where you could buy drugs. And it went on for a very long time, and it's narrative nonfiction, so they did a lot of research as to exactly what the weather was on certain days so they could have those little elements in there when they were writing. It was very good. The next question is start line. What's a book you started but never finished? For me, this is Clockwork Orange. I started reading it. It's written in a very particular way, and I did not want to work that hard. That's the only reason I didn't do it. I know it's like a cult classic. I know that there's a movie. I know that people love it. I couldn't get through the first few pages, so I figured I wasn't going to get through the book. Next we have Sprint, a book you read really quickly, and let's go with the one that I just read last Wednesday, which is The Weight of the Stars. I thought I was just going to start this on Wednesday, and I ended up reading the whole damn thing and vlogging it, so I will link that up above and down below for you. Next is Marathon, which is your favorite long book. I couldn't immediately think of one because I don't really categorize them in my head as like this book had X amount of pages. So let's just go with all of the books in the Dark Tower series except for the first one, because that was very short. Because that series was originally not supposed to be a series. It was supposed to just be the first book, and that was published in a magazine, and then people were like, but we need more of this story. And then we got 6 more books, and then we got another book in the middle of that, and some of those books are very, very hefty. Because it's Stephen King and the damn man doesn't have an editor. Next is Hurdles, a book that had ups and downs, so for me this makes me think of twists and turns in mysteries, so really just any book by Claire McIntosh, because there are so many twists and turns. I'll mention specifically I Let You Go because that's the first one I read, and I really loved the twist in that one. It was so good, but this author really gives you lots of different twists and turns which are very similar to ups and downs. Next is Finish Line, a book you were proud to finish, and I remember back in 2009 when I finally finished the last page of It by Stephen King. I felt pretty proud of myself because it was 1134 pages or something like that. That's how I memorized it because hell, 1134, upside down calculator. Hell. I mostly wanted to read that book at the time because the 1990 version of it was my favorite movie when I was 4 years old, so I figured I needed to read the source material. I was also very proud of myself when I finished reading the unabridged version of Les Mis, which I did back in 2002 because I was in the chorus of a production of Les Mis and I'm an overachiever. Next we have Gold Medal, the best book you've ever read during a readathon, and I have read so many books during readathons that I can't even think to like go through all the readathons I've done and do this. So the first one that came to mind, because this is the Reading Rush and because it used to be BookTubeathon and because a book I read during BookTubeathon that made me cry and made me very happy, was Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. I love Jen Wilde. I've read her 3 books that have been published recently. She has older books that I haven't read yet. And I'm also a fan of Jen Wilde's art, which is why I got her to draw the avatar for this channel. And finally we have Participation Ribbon. What's an underrated book that you wish got more attention? And for this, I feel like people know me for recommending this book, and it's because I don't think that anybody else really has, or at least that I've seen. Obviously other people have recommended it. Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crawley. This book is about grief and love and bibliophilia and people coming together, and it's got so many elements that I love, and everybody needs to read it. And there you have it, the Racing to Read book tag. Should you decide that you also want to do this tag, I will leave the questions down below because I'm not a monster. Have you read any of these books? If so, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you're on your keyboard. Some of you have asked if there's a way to financially support me at this time, so I set up a coffee account, which is a digital tip service basically. It's like buying me a coffee over the internet. Essentially, you could pretend that you paid for the coffee that I'm currently drinking. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!